Hey everybody, I'm Frost, game director at DeckNine on the Expanse, a Telltale series.
And I am Zak, the VP of Story at Telltale Games. And today, we are going to be answering questions about the Expanse from Reddit. Should we jump right in?
Let's go.
It reaches out. Needed to know, will there be any Lang Belta?
Absolutely, Kopang. There's going to be a lot of Lang Belta. I'm drinking Aqua Caca right now, in fact.
Falota. Ixian.
Ixian? Yeah.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Asks, can they give a general idea of what Drummer's goal will be in the game? Don't die.
Yeah.
Just don't die.
Yeah, you're a scavenger in deep space. You start out as an XO, which is basically second in command of this ship. And there's a lot of things that can kill you in space. So step one.
Basically all of it.
Yeah.
All of space.
All of space. Its constant goal is to crush the life out of you. So yes, surviving is one of the goals, but also maintaining a relationship with a crew of wildly different viewpoints and perspectives, and working with them and approaching them differently, because what works for Khan will not work for Maya, will not work for the Belter brothers or Virgil or Cox. And so you have to really understand navigating this dangerous environment with people that also could be dangerous.
Yeah, and when the crew is up against pretty challenging life or death situations, every single member has a part to play. So if you alienate the wrong one at the wrong time, might be bad.
It affects the ending of the game, even from episode 1.
Incredibly complex set of endings to the game.
Yeah.
Spoilers. D Strawberry Girl wants to know if the storytelling require QuickTime events, and will there be accessibility options to make those easier to hit, like removing timers on them and so forth?
Yeah, part of our accessibility options will include making QuickTime events a much easier thing to hit.
I'll also add, I'm excited about the actual feel of the QuickTime gameplay in this game. It's highly intuitive.
Yeah, just to go a little deeper on that, actually, QuickTime events, the thing that annoys me about them is it's like, surprise, press this button that you don't know what it is actually. But I think with these, it feels a little bit more intuitive and feels like you're in the moment, and it's not a surprise, press it. You know, it's something that feels a little bit more smooth and allows that action to be in this narrative game.
I think it's a fair criticism of past ones that you end up playing the UI more than you do playing the scene.
Yes.
And the team has done an amazing job of really removing that barrier. You are playing the actual moment-to-moment action of what's going on with Drummer, for sure.
Yeah.
That Clark guy asks, I'd love to know what the process is and the human perspective of what it's like to developing a new story in an existing universe, especially as a prequel.
It was a lot of fun. This is a universe that is a ton of fun to work in. There's a lot of great characters that exist and rules that sort of exist, like the zero gravity when the ship is not moving versus when it's in thrust. There's also these great characters that have a ton of gray area. Gray area characters are my favorite characters because it allows you to explore multiple angles. So the Expanse is awesome for this. And it's sci-fi, which is, you know, super fun. And as a prequel, we look at the character of someone like Drummer. She has these decisions that she makes in season 2, 3, 4, and what we're doing is giving a background on how she got to that point.
Yeah, that's well said. I think great prequels honor the things we love about stories or universes or any other form of IP while also contributing something new. And we really care about character-driven stories, so for us it always starts and ends with, what is it telling us? What is it teaching us about the characters we love? Hyperspace Ghost and Alternative Market 397 are curious about what drew the team to build the story around Kara G's Drummer. We kind of hinted at this just a second ago.
Yeah, there's a few answers to this. One, Drummer is my favorite character from the show. So instantly when we got the green light to work with the Expanse, that's who I went to immediately. She also has this awesome advantage that a lot of the other characters in the Expanse don't have, which is she doesn't have a novella that's been made about her background. And she's different from the books in a lot of ways. So it allowed us to explore a lot more freely without being tied to canon that already exists for this character. So Drummer is also a gray area character. She can make decisions that are really brutal or really compassionate. And as a character to work with as your protagonist, you can't ask for more than that.
Canine Liquid asks, How involved are Ty Frank and Daniel Abraham or Naren Shankar in terms of consulting?
So when we first started this, we came up with a bunch of ideas, and something that we had to do was run these ideas past Ty and Daniel. And I don't get nervous ever when it comes to presentations. It's a rarity. It's a rarity.
Okay.
But when I was talking to them, I was talking to people who had created this universe from nothing.
Yeah, right.
So what I didn't want to do is sully any of the work that they had done and also make them think that I didn't care about their characters or universe. So I had to pitch to them this idea of a drummer backstory, and they were super gracious and nice and added some really cool ideas that end up in the game as well. But I remember pitching to them, and after the end of it, they had said, "Guys, this is awesome. This sounds like an Expanse story." And immediately, my soul just left my body because I had all of these, like, oh, thank God. Oh, they liked it. Okay, good. So from that point, we integrated a lot of their feedback. We would supply builds to Alcon, who created the show, and we would get notes from them on stuff as we were developing. So they've been great partners. And they created an awesome universe for us to play in.
Yes, yeah. Ari Thum asks, do we get to space them Earthers when they mess up this game?
I'm a little insulted that when was used in this, not if. To translate that Lang Belta, it is, what he's asking is, if we mess up this game, are we gonna get spaced? I'm hoping not. Also, it's gonna be real hard to do with our current technology.
Because we're not in space.
Yeah, we're not in space. It's hard to get out to space. It's very expensive. But if I was gonna go, that's the way to go.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
VMAC1 and Jesse36 wonder, are there any other characters from the series joining the game? For example, Fred Johnson or Anderson Dawes?
Yes. I can't go into details. You got to play the game and see it.
It's so mysterious.
Yes, there will be characters from the show, and I think fans will be super excited to see how they're integrated in the story.
Shax's Other Horn and Delton17 want to know, are the Belters lanky like they are described in the books?
I don't know that they're going to be like 7 foot tall. Like in the books, like Naomi, for example, in the books is much taller than she is in the show. I think that our Belters are lanky like me.
Yeah.
They're taller, they have longer limbs.
Space has an effect.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but Frost is crazy tall. Caden Ferraro and a few others asked, why was there a character shown with glasses on?
Yeah, so to give some context here, the question is about why a character would need something like glasses 300 years in the future. There's a lot of machines that correct vision and fix medical problems. The reason that we did that is a couple. Khan, as a character, is the type of person who doesn't really trust doctors or medicine all that much. Once you get to know Khan, she's not exactly a teddy bear. So having that on her is sort of indicative of her perspective on things and more of a choice that she's making. She's sort of get those newfangled machines away from me.
Yeah.
So that is kind of why we have the glasses on Khan. I think it adds personality and it shows kind of her perspective on medicine and technology.
Creep Tara, will we shed a tear or two?
So I think so. However, how you play the game actually would affect this. I'll say that. So you might shed a tear, maybe you won't. Depends on the decisions you're making.
The kind of person you are. Yeah, because maybe you're heartless. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to the Screaming Firehawks for providing these awesome list of questions.
We are super excited for y'all to get your hands on this game. It's coming out soon. Ask us more questions. Or don't.
We may answer them.
Yeah, if we're not spaced.